ended. Very sorry about that. It was always going to end this way, of course. If it weren't by me, it would have just been by some other, terrible thing. Just, you could not imagine how terrible it would be. Just, I get scared thinking about it. Glad it's not me. It reminds me of a time I was speaking to my good friend Orville. We were sitting on a park bench watching the pigeons. I was on the left, he was on the... Was I on the right? Or left? Anyways, it doesn't matter. We were sitting on there watching the pigeons. And I said to Orville, "Friend, those birds are frozen." And he kind of looked at me like I lost my mind. But I reminded him that it was winter, and often birds will sit in a tree until they freeze. And then they sort of fall to the ground until the sun warms up and they can, move around again. So I said to Orville, "You might as well save those breadcrumbs until the birds thaw, because they can't very well enjoy them in the condition they're in." To which he asked what I meant, and asking what condition the crumbs should be in before he threw them to the birds, assuming that I meant the birds couldn't enjoy the breadcrumbs in the condition that the crumbs were in, when in fact I had meant the birds could not enjoy them in the condition that the birds were in, considering that the birds were frozen. So he took a moment and then threw his last handful onto the ground. I said to him, "Orville, why did you throw the breadcrumbs to the birds when I just told you they're frozen?" To which he responded, "The breadcrumbs are not frozen." Again, misunderstanding my words. I didn't mean to say that the breadcrumbs were frozen when I said I told you they're frozen. I'd been referring to the birds. In hindsight, what I should have said was, and this would make perfect sense, "Why did you throw the breadcrumbs to the birds when the birds are frozen?" He misunderstood upon my correction, stating that he didn't know what else to do with the breadcrumbs, and that perhaps, when the birds thawed, they'd still be able to eat the crumbs. So I said to Orville, and this is what I said to him, I said, "Orville, the birds may be dead." Well, it seems that your journey has ended. Very sorry about that. It was always going to end this way, of course. If it weren't by me, it would have just been by some other, terrible thing. Just, you could not imagine how terrible it would be. Just, I get... We've got a little fixer-upper for you. There's lots of work here to do, so let's start. Cut some corners if it makes you a profit. It seems that you have met Harold. It seems that you have met horrible. But I don't feel too bad about it. These things happen. Life goes on. Not for you, obviously. You're dead. Well, seems that you have met your end. Very sorry. Very sorry. It was always I don't feel too bad about it, though. If it weren't if it weren't me, it would have just been one of the others, I guess. I'm honestly just glad to be out of those air ducts. It's not easy for a hippopotamus. It seems that you have friend, you have met my Harold. These things happen. I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't for me, it would have been someone else. I guess what I'm trying to say, life goes on. Well, for everyone else, life goes on. Not for you. The river. We were sitting by the river. That's neither here nor there. It reminds me of one summer day in the park. I was having just a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. And I said to him, "Orville, I have a story." And he... It seems that you have met your end. It seems that you have met a horrible demise, my friend. Well, it seems that you have met your end. Very sorry. I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't me, it would have just been one of the others, I guess. I'm honestly just glad to be out of those air ducts. It's not easy for hippopotamus to fit up there. Not that easy to get down either. Not as young as I used to be. As you can see, be able to do all sorts. Young, you're vibrant. You have that sort of pep in your step. It reminds me of a conversation I was having with one of my good friends, Orville. We were having a nice picnic one day. I believe it was summer. Perhaps it was. Was it the fall? Yes. It was the fall. It was the fall because the leaves had turned over. But I said to Orville, I have a story to tell. Orville looked at me. Kind of odd. What's it about? I said to him, not every story has to be about something. Sometimes a person just wants to talk. Everything have to be a story. I said. He just looked at me. Well, you said you had a story. No, he was quite right. I did. I told him. I had a story. I suppose if a person just wants to talk, it's best to not announce that you're telling a story. Telling a story does come with its own pressures and expectations, I suppose. After all, if you're just talking to a friend, no more expectations than if you were talking into the wind. Words by themselves aren't expected to carry it. My friend, you have met a horrible demise, But these things happen. Feel too bad about it. Life goes on. After all, if it weren't for me, you're dead. It's been from someone else. It reminds me of a time. I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on. My friend Orville. Well, for everyone else, life goes on. It seems that you have met your end. The river was setting neither here nor there. I don't feel too bad about it. One summer day. After all, it weren't